Hi, I'm Kelly. Although I lived in Kaohsiung for a while, I don't think I've been to Chengcing Lake that many times. This happened during the summer of 2017. At the time, my cousin and I lived close to each other, and he often invited me out to hang out. That afternoon, around 3:30 p.m., we were both feeling bored.
I'm so bored. Let's go out for a bit.
My cousin kept saying. We had no idea where to go at first, but then we thought of Chengcing Lake, which wasn't too far away. Since the park had limited opening hours, we quickly got ready and got there. After parking, we wandered around aimlessly, passing a pavilion by the lake before heading up a small hill to another pavilion. The breeze up there was especially cool and refreshing, so we sat down to rest for a while. When we finally checked the time, it was already past 4 p.m. Deciding it was time to leave, we figured the side gate would be closer, so we took a path leading in that direction. Everything seemed normal at first, though the number of people around us gradually dwindled, and the atmosphere started to feel a bit eerily quiet. When we reached the side gate, a security guard waved at us and told us it had already been locked. We would have to exit through the main gate instead. I checked my watch. It was exactly 5 p.m. Not wanting to take the long way around, we decided to take a shortcut via a stone path that led through a barbecue area. It should have been a quick detour back to the main entrance. But as we stepped onto that small path, something terrifying happened. The sky was getting darker, making it harder to see. I took out my phone and turned on the flashlight to illuminate the stone path ahead. Walking in single file, the eerie silence made us uneasy, so we decided to hold hands. As we passed a stone monument, my cousin suddenly tightened his grip on my hand and whispered,
I don't know if I'm imagining things, but our footsteps should be in sync, right? Then why does it sound like there's a third set of footsteps following us?
We immediately slowed down and listened carefully. He was right. Aside from our own steps, there was another, slightly delayed set of footsteps. It moved along the leaf-covered stone path, producing a faint rustling sound. Panicked, we quickened our pace. But whatever was following us matched our speed. Terrified, we finally broke into a full sprint, gripping each other's hands as we ran for our lives. After a while, we stopped to catch our breath. The mysterious footsteps had disappeared, but an even more unsettling realization hit us. Somehow, it was already 5:43 p.m. How is that possible? I turned to my cousin, confused. We've been walking for so long, and we still haven't reached the main gate. Thinking back, from the time we entered the park, strolled around, rested at the pavilion, and even detoured to the side gate, it had never taken this long. So why were we still trapped inside? At that moment, I suddenly remembered the small compass my grandmother had given me, which I kept in the side pocket of my backpack. She always reminded me to carry it with me, saying it could ward off evil spirits. Without hesitation, I took the compass out and hung it around my neck. Then I turned to my cousin and said, Hold my hand tightly. Let's walk side by side. And strangely enough, the moment I put on the compass and took no more than 10 steps forward, we suddenly found ourselves on a paved road. In the distance, 2 lights were approaching us. As they drew closer, we saw that it was a couple riding bicycles, about to leave the area. We hurried over and asked, Excuse me, which way is the main entrance? The couple pointed to the left. Just turn left and walk straight. You'll reach it in less than 5 minutes. Following their directions, we quickly arrived at the main gate and rode away from Chengcing Lake. However, even after returning home, we couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. Was that path really that long? Still filled with doubt, we decided to return to Chengcing Lake 2 days later to verify what had happened. This time, we arrived at 4:20 a.m. Since there were quite a few people out for early morning exercise, the atmosphere didn't feel as eerie. Near the ticket booth stood a public phone booth, its light occasionally flickering, probably due to some electrical issue. My cousin, being his usual playful self, suggested a silly idea. He would step inside, pick up the phone without saying a word, while I recorded a short horror clip, pretending to encounter a strange figure. Amused, I took a few steps back, lifted my phone, and started recording. I watched the screen as I slowly approached the phone booth. But just as I reached it, at that very instant, the booth's light went out completely and never turned back on. Startled, I immediately stopped recording. My cousin stepped out at that moment, laughing.
What a coincidence. Oh well, let's head in.
We retraced our steps along the same stone path, carefully observing everything around us. We even spotted the same stone monument from before, confirming that we had taken the exact same route. But this time, it took us less than 10 minutes to reach the paved road. Following the couple's previous directions, we arrived at the main entrance within 5 minutes. How is this possible? We exchanged bewildered looks, unable to find an explanation. As we sat down for breakfast, we suddenly remembered the footage we had just recorded at the phone booth. Excited, we took out my phone and played the video. On the screen, my cousin stood inside the phone booth, holding the receiver. But at the exact moment the light went out, we saw it. Another hand. A pale, lifeless hand. It was resting over my cousin's hand, gripping the receiver together with him. A wave of terror shot through us. We hurriedly finished our breakfast and rushed to the local temple. Once there, we intended to show the footage to the temple staff. But no matter how much we searched, the video was gone. Not only was it missing from the album, but it wasn't in the recently deleted folder either. It had vanished without a trace. The temple staff studied our faces carefully before saying in a serious tone, "Your foreheads look a bit dark. Would you like to receive a cleansing ritual?" Without hesitation, we nodded. After the ritual, everything felt normal again. From that day on, I never set foot in Chengcing Lake again. Even now, I still wonder what really happened that day. Had we accidentally wandered into some kind of supernatural space, or had something deliberately trapped us there? And as for that video, the truth behind it may forever remain a mystery. That's the end of today's story. Did you enjoy it? Have any of you ever had a terrifying experience near a lake? If so, feel free to share it in the comments below. If you want to see my videos faster, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.